Hi everyone, this is Jane. Today's topic is Gwanghae, who was the 15th king of Joseon before he was deposed and went down in history as a horrible tyrant king. So without further ado, let's start. You might have heard his name, Gwanghae in several different dramas or movies. In Korean culture, he's been portrayed by a lot of famous actors like Joseon, etc. And yes, he's a very popular character because of all the horrific things that he did while he reigns. So let's start at the beginning. He was born as the second son of King Seonjo. And originally he was not the crown prince, which made sense because he was not the king's first son and nor was he a legitimate child. Still, during the 임진왜란, which is the war when Japan used Korea to try to attack the Ming Empire, he was installed as crown prince while the king fled up north. He had many victories and was gaining popularity and respect by both the people and the ministers. Still, his father disliked him even more because he only favored his other son, his legitimate son, Prince Yeongchang. Still, as he was already named crown prince, there wasn't really anything he could do about it. Still, luckily for Gwanghae, his father, the king, who disfavored him very much, died abruptly without having time to name his younger son, Prince Yeongchang, as his successor. So yes, he did successfully rise to the throne and was named king. However, although he was crowned king, there was a faction, the northern faction, who hated this idea of Prince Gwanghae becoming king, and they plotted for his younger legitimate brother, who was only really around 8 years old at that time, to become king. But of course, having found out about this, he arrested and killed most of the leaders of the northern faction and also executed his younger brother. And still, his killing his younger brother was only one of the reasons of him falling out of favor with the ministers who once liked him. And as the northerners and other factions continued to move against him, many members of his family were accused of treason, arrested, killed, executed, and tortured. Even his mother was dethroned. Well, being completely truthful, she wasn't really his mom. Since his mom was just a concubine of the late king, his mother wasn't really an important person, but the real queen who was dethroned was the mother of Prince Yeongchang, whom you might remember as the young 8-year-old prince that King Gwanghae killed. This actually wasn't something very bad for him, but it was something that made a lot of people dislike him even more. As, you know, she's the queen, she was the mother of the nation. But of course, he wanted to as he felt threatened by her presence. However, some people do believe that he wasn't too bad of a king, that he doesn't deserve to be written down as some perfect king, because during his time in reign, yes, he did do a lot of horrific, really inhumane things, but he also tried to make some changes in the unfair legal systems of Joseon. There was something called hoppe, which was basically part of the class system that divided the population, and it was really unfair for the younger peasants and lower class people, and he did try to change that, which obviously didn't go down well with the noble ministers. And even in addition to that, he did try to make some positive changes, which actually in the long run didn't really work out in his favor. And therefore, just like Crown Prince Habu before, there are some theories around Gwanghae that he wasn't really a bad person, but that he was threatened and bribed, and that it wasn't really fair for him to be deposed and to be named as a tyrant king. But, well, you know, I'm not going to make that decision for you, so I strongly urge you to go watch some of the movies that I will recommend, or that you search them up yourself. There is so many actually interesting stories, and you know, this is just a little bit of what I'm trying to tell you. So See you next time. Thank you.